Welcome to today's show. I'm Woody Wood. Today we're on Lake Jackson fishing for crappie. Yesterday I had an amazing day out here. I caught 33 slab crappie, caught a couple stripers, caught about 4 spotted bass. Everything right up here in front of me, I'm baiting up with minnows, and I've got some fiberglass poles, and I've got a couple rods that I'm going to be tight lining. So we're going to try our luck. I got my wife with me today, so that's always a little extra luck. So stay tuned and we'll be right back. Hey folks, welcome to today's show. Today we're going to be on Lake Jackson. We're going to be fishing for crappie. It's November the 18th, and the outside temperature is getting around 32 in the mornings to 45 before lunch. The water temperature is cooling off around 64, 65 now. As you remember, last month we did a show on October 21st to the 24th out here, and we caught some really slab crappie. So we're going to go back again here on the next full moon phase. We're going to try them again. So stay tuned, folks. Look forward to some good crappie action here on Lake Jackson. Welcome to today's show. Guess what? We're at Lake Blacksher down here at Veterans State Park in Cordele. We're going to be fishing 3 days here. And I'm very excited to say this good friend of mine, Rusty Parker, is going to be guiding us today on our fishing trip. So stay tuned. We've got some good crappie action here on Lake Blacksher. Hey folks, welcome to this week's show. Today we're in an undisclosed location fishing in a private lake here in North Georgia. So we're going to be catching brim. We're going to be catching bass today. So stay tuned for some good action here. Hi folks, welcome to this week's show. We're beginning a new season here fishing on Lake Sinclair. Today we're going to be visiting Twin Bridges. We're on the back side here of Lake Sinclair. We're going to be fishing for crappie, and I'll tell you what, the water temperature is around 65, getting close to 70 as the days heat up. So we're going to be fishing next to Octopus Island, close to structure, with minnows. So stay tuned for some good crappie action here on Lake Sinclair. Folks, welcome to this week's show. We have left the state of Georgia and we're in Loudon, Tennessee. We're going to be fishing with a good friend of mine, Judd Bedfield's friend from here, Chip Matthews. We're going to be catching white bass today here on the Tennessee River. So stay tuned for some good action. Folks, welcome to this week's show. Today we're fishing on Lake Sinclair. We're going to be at Twin Bridges today with my guest Chase Hams. I'm going to be guiding him and my son John Boy. We're going to be trying to catch some crappie. They're spawning right now. So stay tuned for some good action here on Lake Sinclair. Mississippi. Folks, welcome to this week's show. Today we're visiting Lake Oconee. We're fishing around the old Salem campground. I got a good friend of mine, Brian Clemens. He's going to be fishing with me today, and he's got his daughter Morgan. So we're going to be fishing for catfish. So stay tuned for some good action here on Lake Oconee. Folks, welcome to this week's show. Today, my good friend Brian Clements. We're going fishing today. We're taking our sons with us. Brian, what are we going to be doing today?
Well, we're going to be fishing for trophy brim and trophy bass. This lake we're fishing in today is known for big bass and big brim. So maybe we can get some good footage today and keep y'all folks entertained.
That sounds good, y'all. I tell you what, I'm really looking forward to seeing our kids catch some big fish. And I appreciate Mr. Brian here taking us fishing today. So stay tuned for some good action here, catching bass and brim. Hey folks, welcome to today's show. We're on Lake Oconee and it's Memorial Day. Got a lot of traffic out here, but you know we're going to fish for a little while. The blue cat, using the Carolina technique. We're going to be catching a lot of fish today. Stay tuned for some good rod bending action. Welcome to this week's show. Today we're on Lake Oconee. We're going to be out here with John Boy and his friend Glenn, and we're going to be catching catfish with a Carolina rig, and also we're using artificial bait. We got 4 rods out using the presentation, running the bait around 6 to 12 feet. So far we've already caught several small fish, but we're looking to get into some bigger fish later. So hang in there for some rod bending action here on Lake Oconee. Hey folks, welcome to this week's show. Today we got some exciting action here on Lake Sinclair. Today we're visiting Crooked Creek Marina. We're going to be out here catching big catfish. John, my wife, and I have already been over here for about a week. We've caught a 14, an 18, a 20, and a 25-pound blue cat. So stay tuned, folks, for some good rod bending action here on Lake Sinclair. Folks, welcome to this week's show. Today we have a special show for you here on Lake Oconee. John Boy and I are out here fishing with lightweight tackle, cut bait shiners, with these big blue cat tied up here at the barrels at Wallace Dam. Now, the special thing about this is 3 years ago we had a digital camera coming over here fishing, tying up to the barrels, doing the same thing we're doing today. We haven't been over here all year. We've been on Lake Sinclair, we've been on Lake Oconee too, but we've been on the other side of the lake. So I put this time off and came over here the other day, and I caught some fish, some pretty good fish, 6-8 pound blue cat. So today John Boy and I are going to be here catching some really nice blue cat. So stay tuned for some good rod bending action here on Lake Oconee.